What's up, everyone? Zach here with Crew 42 with the round 2 coverage of the Fallasburg Open, our lead card here out in Lowell, Michigan. Super excited to have you back to watch this coverage with us. It's a great course, great tournament to be held at the end of each year. Commentating today, we have myself and Donut. How you doing, Donut?
Hey, what's up, guys?
So thanks again to all the sponsors who helped this tournament kick off, including the Tausch Twins, Lumberjack Discs, Stop Us Science and Engraving, Zuka, the Grand Rapids Disc Golf Tour, Zamfell Disc Baron, and Innova Discs. Thanks so much for helping make this event great. Our round 1 standings here, we have Willie, Ian, Bryce, Noah, and Dan going to be on our second lead card here. Super excited to have them here. Some really hot shooting from Willie.
Yeah, hot round from Willie. That round was rated 1050, but at what cost? He lost his mini on the front 9 around 1, and it just fired him up.
So we have Ian now here for the second place. He's currently just 4 strokes back from Willie there. Still intackable, 10-11 rated round. A great round from him, round 1.
Bryce Kosten joining us with the third 1,000 rated pro round in this tournament in round 1.
Super excited to have him on coverage for the first time this year. And we have Noah Latinga here. Played with him not too long ago at the Sleepy Hollow tournament. He's went to Plainwell, I believe, and he is currently leading the open field in tournament points for this series.
That's awesome. Round to get out, Dan Treece sneaking on to the 5th person in our lead card here.
Yep. Tied with a couple people, but because of the PTG number, he's going to be joining us for our second round here. Super excited to have him there. And if you're just joining us for this particular round, if you haven't known, we have gotten a drone thanks to some generous sponsors at GRGGU. So we will be having our flights here and to feature our hole overviews. This is the second time I've flown it, so it's a little rough here, but our hole 1 right here is 574 feet par 4. You really want to put it in the landing zone in front of those pine trees and then use your second approach shot to either attack right over the tree line or left, depending if you're a forehand or lefty player trying to attack this basket and get close for a 3.
If you are just joining us for this round 2 coverage, maybe consider subscribing to the channel. Maybe you'd get notifications on that round 1.
Yes, please.
Know when it comes out. We're doing this for you.
Here we got Willie teeing us off here for round 1. Nope, this is round 2, just kidding. I swear I'm going to get mentally at the right round here. And this is a bomb, just like in round 1. A little shorter than that, but he's a little in front of that pine tree. Hopefully enough room to where he can hyzer out either right side or get a forehand through the left side.
Yeah, you almost want to be on the left side of that bush if you're going to be over there. But he should have enough space behind it to be able to create an approach shot. Hopefully get his bird.
Here's Ian now, and he just nicks the top of that tree. You might notice some weather still falling down here. Between the rounds, it got really nasty, and that's an unfortunate kick there. Just getting past those bushes, he's going to have some compromised footing.
Yeah, he should be able to get clean on his approach shot, but he's not going to have any sort of run-up. He's going to have a big standstill throw from there.
And here's Bryson. He's got a pretty big arm here as well. He's going to be landing next to Willie. Oh, yeah.
No, that's a little bit better spot. He's got more room there. He might still be able to go around the left side.
Here's Noah. I know he wants to do well to try to finish the series off in first place.
We got other of our new players jittery about the camera at all? I know it's their first time.
I've been playing with Noah before, like I'd mentioned, and that's a big bomb as well.
That's perfect.
Yep, that's right in that gap you want. I played with Noah before, so he kind of knows what's going on here. I don't think he was too jittery. Bryce I met for the first time. I'm not sure how many jitters he had, but he seemed pretty calm.
It looks good on the first drive, and that's kind of the hard part about some of our local players being on camera for the first time, at least.
Dan with a good crush there, almost hitting the tee pad there from the shorts, but ideal location, just like he did in round 1.
Yeah. Noah, Willie, and Ian here, no stranger to the Crew 42 camera. If you want to check out some of their previous rounds, scroll back on the channel. Nice rip from the standstill from Ian. That's a difficult shot. Unlucky kick. Almost hung it a little long on that one.
Yeah. I think if he had been like 5 feet, 6 feet left, it would have been pin high. It was an absolute rip from a standstill, which I can't do. It's a very impressive throw.
That might be long, too. He's hung this way out. It's stalled, though. Nice stall shot from Dan there. It's hard to get that control, the nose-up angle there, and get the disc to hold on the brakes the whole way and really get to drop where you want.
Oh, this looks just a touch inside. Yep, catching that branch. He's going to be landing on there. Hopefully easy up and down for 4, though. We'll have to see where he's located at when he gets up there.
See, so Willie, we talked about being too close to the tree, and you really want this left gap. It's kind of hard to see on how they landed, but that's a really good angle of where you want to be next to that tree. Nice approach from Willie. Not the best roll away. He probably wanted to be longer, so that his outside the circle putt could be unobstructed. But that'll be an easy 4 at the very least, and he'll be able to run that.
Noah's so far up there. He's actually taking the low approach here. And I think he wanted a little more ground action there. The water and the wet ground kind of stalled him out a little bit and didn't get quite as much of a skip as he wanted.
Yeah, there's especially with the forehands more so than the backhands because of the way you're grabbing the disc. You're going to have more mishaps with this wet environment. These players have had an entire round to figure out how their hands and discs behave in the wet environment, but we're going to see a couple more forehand slips than backhands.
Ian had a really rough lie there. He just barely scooted out of the woods, so hopefully he can get up and down for a bogey at worst or maybe have a look for his par. And that's a nice approach there from Bryce, so he should be able to tap in. Ian looking like he's going to opt in for the high hyzer here.
Yeah, he's going to stall one way wide. Not wide enough.
Just caught the very top of the branch there. Unlucky.
That can be a difficult shot to commit to, and especially a difficult shot to pick your disc for.
Yeah.
Because the obvious shot at this distance is a putter, but then for the stability, you almost want an overstable distance driver.
Right.
And then after that decision, you still have to commit.
Here's Dan's look for 3. He's going to jump putt just a touch short. So close. Here's Ian now. This will be for his bogey now. Ooh, same thing there. Touch too low. Rough way to start the round, but he's definitely a capable player and still in danger. You know, still can be very dangerous here once he gets back in the groove of things.
Yeah, I think he's very quickly going to be playing for position because Willie's so hot.
Willie is very hot still. Yes, it's almost a decision making you had to make this early in the round, considering how good Willie has been playing.
Yeah, even down by 6, you're going to have to be making layups and things like that to try to get second place.
Yeah, for sure. 6 strokes is one, you have to get a hole every 3 holes.
Right, especially we're at the same course on the same day. Willie just shredded it.
Yep.
1049 rated round. Absolutely incredible. Now, he's got a mini there. Did he borrow a mini?
Yeah, so between the rounds, I did happen to have my bag in there, so I just handed Willie my mini real quick so he could use that during the round. So luckily he will have a mini. It's a little bigger than his other one. It's a really, really small one. But
I think he'll be able to make the adjustment.
I think that it won't affect him too much. Hole 2 now, 243 feet. A little more open now with the foliage gone for the wintertime. You really want to hang out a putter or maybe a mid-range if you need something a little more overstable to kind of hit that gap. A lot of players leak too far to the right and get into that tree line on the right side and get in trouble, but you really want to put it in the open gap. Don't get over-committed to that right side.
The high putter shot is really the pro play here. You want to get a lot of height and cut off as much as you can on the left. But if you miss to the left, it's way worse than missing to the right because you're just on the tee again pretty much.
And there's some really nasty bushes there on the left if you go really early. But Willie with a nice little rollout.
That's about as good as you can get on this.
He was going to have
a real tight shot. And that's exactly what we were saying. He took his Challenger OS there, put it real high, cut off a lot left. Now this is the right line. It looks like he just barely got inside of it.
Yep, and if it had been another 5-6 feet higher going into that wood line, that would have been probably an ace run.
But you're really challenging that right side.
Yeah.
If you get caught up on those trees, that's where we see a lot of 4s on this hole. 243-foot hole to see open players take a 4 on it.
Yeah.
It's pretty discouraging, but it really only comes into play when you go far right.
Yep. And usually it takes either like a bad line or a misfire a little bit to get too far right, but Noah had a pretty good shot there. It's a little farther. He's probably circle's edge. And Dan here with a nice look as well. So far, 4 for 4, all hitting the gaps here.
Now, how much different does this hole play in the summer?
With the foliage on those left bushes, you actually are forced to play this line right here where Ian is taking. And this is another great line from him. He had a similar one in round 1. But you're actually forced to take the line on the right wood line because there's no opening on the left if it overgrows at all.
Right, I wish that path was a little more open for the skip shot play if you could rip one low, but it's just not wide enough. Yeah, you can't make the gap.
Noah here looking for his birdie. Oof, good run there. Just a touch on the am side, a little high. Here's Dan now for his birdie look as well. No doubt.
Nice spin putt from Dan. Always entertaining to watch that putt.
Mm-hmm. Almost didn't see him. And ooh, if that had been another inch forward, I bet that would have gone in the backside. It would have been the most amazing double tap putt.
There you go, Ian.
Ian with a nice birdie. So good recovery from him after hole 1.
He already lost my mini.
Oh, are you kidding me? Put it in your pocket. Bro, time out. Got it. Easy dandy. That's my new mini. I guess you got a go-go gadget mini. And it pops out of nowhere.
A little bit of a scare there for Willie for a second there. Everyone kind of give him a little heckle after almost losing my mini.
Yeah.
It's a big one, too.
he even stating it's a big mini, too. How is he going to lose that? So just some great fun with the card. It's great to have good chemistry on that lead card, especially for round 2. Now we're heading to hole 3, 259 feet, par 3. Again, just like in round 1, you can throw the forehand and try to play the big skip. That's usually the pro play there, or you can try to go backhand and use your glide a little bit more with your putter or mid-range and try to attack the basket a little more aggressively, but it's a tighter line. And Willie's throwing that same...
And we're probably going to see 4 forehands from this.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Squad here?
Yeah, I would imagine Dan's still going to go backhand like he did last round. It was very effective.
Dan has a strange combination of can't and won't on this forehand shots.
I mean,
but he's an absolute legend at the backhand turnover, and he pretty much parked this round 1.
I almost think this is a different disc than round 1, though. I don't know. Ooh. And this is a little inside.
Really high.
He's going to have to get a little lucky. Oh, catches one of those last trees there. Easy 3 probably from him there, though. Maybe a 2 look if he gets a long putt in there.
Probably the only person in the tournament that's opting backhand on this hole. It really doesn't.
Yeah, not many people will go for that. But even here, Ian and Willie, almost with perfect forehands, are still left with circle edge putts because this hole plays so far to the right. You just ask so much of that disc to move forward. Bryce with a nice forehand.
Yeah, there's really 2 lines on the forehand, too. There's the high shot, which is a lot easier to hit the gap with, but then you get almost no action. That's what these 3 play. We got another backhand?
So Noah does go backhand as well. And I think he leaked this out a little too far left. But he got a tree stopper, so he'll still be in the fairway.
That's a good shot as far as not making the corner. But the forehand lines, there's the high one with no ground action. It's very easy to hit the gap with.
Yep.
But then you're going to leave yourself 40 long.
Yep.
There's the skip, or there's the real low skip shot where it's going to be tougher to hit the gap, but if you do hit it, you're going to be parked.
Right. Dan with a good layup there. Noah with a decent run as well. Just a touch outside. To the right there on the pro side. And so these 3 guys are going to be putting almost from the identical same spot.
Do we know if that's a long putt marker?
It is a long putt marker. And they're all just inside.
Unlucky.
Yeah, they're all just inside. They were actually joking around for a minute. It's like, maybe I should just take a stroke and put it behind the marker and then take a run at it. Willie just a bit low there. These leaves are definitely affecting the footing, especially with the water. It's just like a weird interaction with the ground there that you don't normally have in other rounds. And Ian making the correction there, getting it up in the air, but just a touch too high, and he kisses off the top of the basket there. These guys should be able to tap out for their pars here. A couple good runs there. Yeah, Noah's definitely a preferred backhand player. Just playing with him a couple times. He has a forehand like Dan where it's more of like a get out of jail kind of card. And right. Dan's forehands, every time I've ever seen him throw one, just playing with him or on camera, it's always been parked with a forehand, but it's always his like scramble.
Absolute last resort.
Yeah.
average probably one around.
Yeah,
A lot
maybe.
of zeros and twos.
Yep.
But it's rare, never a choice for Dan to throw a forehand.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen him consciously do that. It'd be interesting. I wonder, we should have him in for an interview sometime and ask him. Hole 4 now, 275 feet, par 3. Saw a couple really good runs in the first round here. This is a very dead straight shot. You really want something as straight as possible to go down this tight gap. With the foliage gone, you're a little more open in the upper regions of this hole. There's still a ceiling there, but if you go high, it's not the end of the world. And this is going to be Willie's Wasp.
Absolute awesome shot from Willie.
Nearly taking out the cameraman.
That's going to hang up perfect. That's really the only line on this hole, unless you take a real overstable slow disc.
Yep.
Something like a zone or a pig, and try to force the flex shot out of it. But it's really not going to make a larger line.
And Dan nearly making a perfect correction there from round 1. He just caught it just inside on the left side, so he's going to have a long putt. Probably 35, 40 feet. Ian going back to that rock. I believe it's a glow rock, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, he likes a little bit more durability out of his rocks than the
DX plastic.
The classic DX rock that everyone throws.
And that's the second time now where he's thrown a pure shot right up through the gut. Put himself inside circle 1. Bryce throwing this one, looks like a little left, turns it over though, and sitting, it had a lot of spin on it. That's also a rock 3.
It looked like some glow plastic too. Not a lot of glow rock 3s out there.
Yeah, not that I've seen.
A lot of people choose the premium plastic in the rock 3s, but
Noah's,
still a good shot.
Yeah, Noah's calling for this just to turn over, and it's just not going to. He's going to get stuck early in that first bush. So this is likely going to be a layup here. It's just no visibility of the basket. He just knows in general where it's at.
Something, try to get real high. It's lower than I thought it would be, but can't argue with the result. That's underneath the basket.
You're right. Easy tap in for 3. Now, Dan at the knee. He's probably sitting at just 35, 40 feet.
And he was lining that one up.
Ooh, he was awfully close.
That's right around Dan's layup range, but he definitely ran that one.
For sure. I noticed that this whole tournament, he was, especially at the beginning of the round, he was off just a touch, either just a touch low or a touch high maybe, and if he gets it locked in, he can definitely start making a run up the leaderboard here. Here's Willie with a great birdie there. Nice placement.
Yeah, the leaderboard almost doesn't include Willie at this point. When the players, the rest of the players on the card really can't take a run at him. They just have to put them in position for Willie to blow up.
Yep.
That's the only chance here. But a hot race for second place.
Oh, for sure. All those guys are all within a stroke of each other. They're all...
Just tap it in, guys. Come on.
They're having a good time. It is...
Ian with the pump fake there. Trying to ice Dan. We'll see if it works. Nope. Sorry, Ian. Good try, though.
All good fun for these guys. Heading to hole 5 now, 496 feet, the other par 4 on this course. It is a huge par 4. Plays way more than this 500 feet that it mentions. The hole is so far uphill, it looks like you're climbing up a mountain. Have some obstacles there with the logs that go across the fairway to prevent runoff, so you can't even get a good straight shot skip up the hill. So you're really just playing to get to the first short tee pad, and then you're trying to get something high-zering out for the approach shot and give yourself a chance at 3. See if Willie can repeat.
Yes, there's kind of a interesting dynamic with these, like, I think they're like railroad ties, the logs. They, it feels bad when your disc smacks one, which it always does.
Like Willie just did there.
Yeah, if it goes to the ground, you're going to hit one. And it feels bad because you wanted a lot more distance out of that shot.
Correct.
But it's also good that it hit the disc because you don't want your skip or your finish to hyzer out.
Right.
And so the logs stop your distance, but they do keep you in the center pretty well.
Ian turning his disc over a little bit too much. He's going to be in that. There's like a little ditch on the right side of the fairway all the way up the hill. Dan kind of getting an unlucky roll there after he kissed that pine tree there, but he's also going to be on the fairway on the right side.
Yeah, this hole probably plays closer to 550 if you don't count the logs, just from the incline.
Sure.
But then the log stopping the finish distance out of your disc pushes it closer to 600 feet.
Right.
And so this is really a true par 4. A 2 on this is a throw-in at best.
Yeah, I literally cannot imagine anyone in the disc golf world who could actually attack this basket in one shot. I mean,
you'd need a laser beam up the gut,
yeah.
and
it's so uphill that your disc is going to try to stable out before
there's not really
time.
a line to the basket either.
Right. It'd be an interesting challenge, though. Get some of the best players in the world out here, see if they can get to the basket.
Yeah, throw their bag at it a couple dozen times.
Noah there with the throw went back to the fairway, but a good kick. He should be on the edge still.
I like the spot from Dan. It kind of favors his game. A little turnover, but he's cut it off a little bit too much.
Yeah, just a touch too narrow there. He's going to get kicked into the woods there, that line, the brush. And hopefully he'll have an open look there. It's actually a pretty open spot. And Willie was right on a log, which is wet and slippery, and so it was really compromised footing.
Good commitment from him on that.
Yeah.
Upshot, not quite as much as he wanted. Maybe affected him a little bit, but...
I think it took some distance off of him for sure.
Right, a little bit of a turn as well.
Yep.
Just Kaisered before he wanted it to.
Bryce saying that he didn't have a really good look there, so he's just going to pitch out wisely and give himself a good setup.
Ian looks like he's running this with that run-up.
Yeah, Ian wanting to get up and down as quickly as possible to save this par. And he's going to leave himself quite the tester. He's going to have to putt around a tree, up the hill. We'll see if he can convert it for the par.
Good distance, well inside the circle, but unfortunate lie for sure.
Bryce just trying to play the safe. Heiser line, it's pretty open over the top there, so he's just trying to get up. And that's just a testament to how big this hill is. It feels like you give it enough and you still find yourself 20, 30 short.
Yeah, he's a player that definitely has the power for that shot, but
Absolutely.
It's so deceptive how tall this hill actually is.
Right. Dan with a weird ground action there, but he's still inside circle. I imagine he'll be able to tap that in. And here's Noah now. Oh, maybe an early release there. Kind of leaks out.
It looks like his chest kind of tried to adjust to his footing, but that did not help out his shot. Willie's going skip shot? No, he's going around the left side.
And he just nicks the very top of the branch and knocked him straight backwards, so he's going to almost have an identical shot here.
Yeah, I almost like the wide skipper from here, but that's an awesome approach shot, his second one, but definitely not how he drew it up here.
So he's going to take a stroke there, unfortunately, but still well comfortably within his lead. Here's Bryce seeing if he can tap this in, just a touch low. And that's probably still 6 feet up, like from where his position is.
Yeah, almost getting spooked by the hill there.
Ian, unfortunately, skipping it off the top of the basket. He's going to have a comebacker back down the hill. Here's Noah, see if he can convert. And he does so nicely. Good save for 4 from him.
That's an unusual lineup on the putt there. Does he always do that?
Yeah, he always has what looks like a big hyzer.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to roll it in almost.
But then he straightens it out as he follows through there. So, yeah, as long as I've known him, which isn't incredibly long, that has been his putting sound. Ian with another uncharacteristic miss here as he goes back down the hill.
Just probably getting rattled here by a combination of the weather, and then this is just a frustrating hole even when you do everything right.
Yeah, the weather has been absolutely just mind-bogglingly crazy. It's just very strange here as Bryce taps in his bogey there. So definitely affecting some of the players here for sure. Ian looking to try to get this in.
Oh, no.
The worst, yeah. I thought for sure he deserved that to go in. It was still center pin, but unfortunately it spit itself out, so he's going to have to walk away with a triple bogey on this hole. I know it's not definitely what he wanted there, but he's going to have to try to regroup here and keep playing some disc golf and see if he can get those shots back and get himself back in that conversation for second. Hole 6 now, 204 feet, par 3. Spray and pray is the best way to describe this hole. There's more openings right to left you see here with the drones going. You can get a disc that's overstable enough to kind of get into one of those lanes, but really there's no precise line here.
There's no correct decision on this hole.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do. There's a lot of things you can overthink this as much as you like, but you really just want to miss. You want to throw your disc as far as possible before it hits a tree. Dan going just wide of the first tree. That's kind of the common line.
Yep.
I mean, line is a fallacy here. But that's the lie you want out of your drive.
Yeah, that was absolutely incredible. That's a great lie for this hole. That's ideal for most people.
This is a little wider, but a little more stable.
This is a very common line. That's what a lot of people go for. And he gets, unfortunately, a big skip there, and he's gone way wide left. So he's going to have a circle's edge, maybe a little farther than that tester coming back.
You really can't beat the pin on this hole.
Yeah.
Unless you throw a roller like Reed did last round.
Correct.
But that's a less precise shot in and of itself. So a lot of discs kick out wide here. This is a very commonplace for Willie to be.
Yep. It's just those nicks. There's just so many. It's impossible to avoid the trees. You can't play for a precise shot.
And then no matter what you're thinking here, and no matter what your bag looks like and what your game is like, you need to throw a putter on this hole because of the kick damage.
Sure.
If you throw a high-speed disc or even sort of a mid, the kicks are going to be more devastating because it's going to kick at a higher speed.
Right.
So the putter really minimizes the damage that this hole can do for you. Oh, no.
Bryce, unfortunately, had to hit that first line of trees off the tee, and then he hit, I think, maybe the same tree again, trying to attack this gap, so just unlucky there. And then nicks another tree there, and it kicked it to the right. So just some more evidence of how difficult this hole can be with the trees there. And Ian actually nicking the base of a tree and skipping him about 20 feet forward.
He's using his size there to get around something that a lot of regular-sized people wouldn't be able to create.
Right.
It's really a large dude. And oh, my gosh.
Nicked off a tree, nearly went in. I was rooting for that to smash in, just quite too low. Here's Willie now for his 2 look. Probably just at circle's edge. Does so nice. A good recovery from the last hole.
Beautiful bonus birdie from Willie here. This is definition bonus birdie. You're just crossing your fingers that you can get any sort of look towards the basket.
Yeah, and Ian tried to sneak away with that par without getting on camera, but John Clark got him. So, nice try, Ian.
Yeah, second shout out to John Clark for subbing in on camera duties.
Yes, appreciate that very much. Noah just off with his birdie look. Uncharacteristic miss there from Bryce.
Well, he's frustrated right now.
Yeah, he just had the double tree kick. It's definitely a mental game here. And here's Dan. He's looking to capitalize on his birdie look, and he does so nicely. Last round, he hit that first tree, and so he was way back and had to make an amazing second shot to recover that. So I bet a birdie here feels really good. I almost thought that Noah just picked up his discs there for a second.
Oh, just calling it quits?
Yeah, I thought he just picked it up. For some reason, I did not see him lay his marker down, but he did lay his marker. You see it right there. Good putt from Bryce there. Stops the bleeding there. And Noah needs to tap in now. Does so nicely. Noah with no mistakes technically so far, sitting on the board with all pars as he gives the camera a little shout out.
And that's a good run from the front nine is much harder than the back as far as scores are concerned.
Yeah. Hole 7 now, 299 feet. I almost want to challenge the number. I feel like this hole probably is a little bit more than that. It might not be. It just plays a lot longer. Even though it's downhill, I see so many people just end short. I know when I played the hole before, I have 299 feet of power in me, and I very rarely get down to the basket. It's all left to right, so it could be just a line.
Yeah, just pad to pin, probably 299, but actually 335 as far as the disc is going to fly.
Yeah, so here's a good line from Dan, but
real low.
Yeah, and that's a common play. I think most people's play, like the pro play, is trying to get a little ground action up towards the basket, but with these leaves and how wet it is, it takes a lot of ground action out of their disc.
Yeah, you can get a lot larger hyzer skips on leaves, but those straight skips and counter skips are not going to happen.
Yeah.
The disc is just going to spin out on the leaves.
Yep. Noah getting good height here, turning his disc over. I'm not sure what disc that is in particular, but it came out of the air very quickly. I was a little surprised to see it, kind of dip down that fast. Here we got Ian now. He's definitely throwing that rock, that glow rock. He loves those discs. I think he carries 3 in his bag right now. And just like you said right there, that was looking perfect to get kind of like a forwards, like counter skip maybe, and those leaves just kind of give out from under it and just kills the disc instead. Bryce here going high as well, which is the right play if you want to attack this basket. And that was probably perfect distance catching that last tree. He was probably marking right towards the basket. A little unlucky, but...
Yeah, the tough part about leaving it high is if you leave it high all the way to the pin, the disc is going to slow down and get some hyzer, and then you're going to be long left, which is not where you want to be at all. So this is like almost a conservative play to go at a medium height or with a slower disc or the low shot. But the only way to get to the pin in one shot is something pretty high.
Good throw from Dan there. Almost a throw-in. He just wants to be disc buddies with Willie there. So Bryce probably sitting at 50 to 60 feet in that range somewhere. Sit and just off the top of the basket. Pretty good run from him. And there, like we had mentioned in round one, there's sand right behind the basket, so if it lands on the ground, it's not going to go anywhere.
Yeah, it's going to stick.
And there's a good run from Noah.
Yeah, real tough position all these players put themselves in that far out.
Yeah, this is a big putt, and oh my.
That basket does not like Ian today.
No, it does not.
He's got to do some soul searching and decide to make some friends with the basket.
Bryce again, just a touch outside.
Bryce still rattled from the last couple holes here.
Yeah.
He's just having a rough day. It's hard to get your mind back because he's not far out a second.
No, he's still in the race.
We're assuming that Dan's 2 down for the round is enough to save his second place. There's no chase card action. But you can't really think about that at this point. You really got to play with your card, which doesn't include Willie.
Right. I know Dan's, his position, he was tied with a couple people on the chase card. So from his position, I think he wants to be really like more aggressive, trying to take that second place position. Especially with a player like Reed Frisker on the chase card right now. Like, you never know what will happen with him.
He only started the day at -2, or started the round at -2.
Correct.
He did his first round did not go the way he wanted. But he is such a good player that he's definitely going to be attacking second place and something you need to be worried about.
Yep.
But all these players can do at this point is focus on Dan.
Yep. Dan's probably a good marker right now about consistent play here. Heading to hole 8 now, 281 feet. A lot of people mistakenly throw this disc either too early with a forehand or they turn it over too much and hit into those bushes on the right side there, which definitely can leave them into trouble. While the pro play here is if you have the arm, you want to forehand it out deep and try to attack the basket long, or if you have the turnover shot, try to attack that center gap and see if you can get to the basket.
Yeah, the forehand stall shot is really kind of the best option. If you get something really high, get it to stop right around the tree line and crash down into the hole there. We know Dan's going turnover, though. Tough ask from this wind today.
Yeah, and the wind was super hard to read at this particular hole of it. When I remembered, it just was really hard to get a read in this like open space.
Yeah, we've been in the woods for so long. At the start of the round, a lot of the players staying in their cars or finding some sort of shelter
A lot of
between
wind.
round. Yeah,
a lot of wind.
There it goes. Huge left to right. And it's so hard to battle that on the backhand.
Yeah.
With a forehand, you can just leave it way wider.
Yep.
And give yourself a long putt, but still a run at the basket. But all these backhand dominant players are going to have a really tough time.
And here's another big wind bounce from Noah. He's going to scoot into the fairway, though, so he might have a look at 2 there. It's going to be a little bit obstructed, I imagine, from those bushes on the right. Ian, I bet, going back with the rock.
I'm real surprised he's favoring backhand here. He's got enough forehand power, and this wind is really scary.
This is looking pretty good, though, if it sits
Good
down.
height.
And almost identical position, just farther and closer to the basket.
That's all you can ask for. He's
30
He's
feet.
going to be able to stick a leg in there and get a lean-out putt from a knee, probably. 5 backhands. I would not have guessed that from our lead card. In the NPO.
And this is looking really good, actually. A good height. Gets around everything. He's going to have an obstructed putt, but he will have a look at 2 here.
It's going to be a really long look from Willie.
Yeah, Willie got a little fortunate kick out of there because it was pretty far into that bush and it kicked out.
Is that a different putter?
It is.
The blue one?
And,
His Challenger OSs are all pink, purplish.
Yeah, and this got a nasty kick out. That branch just kind of grabbed it and like whipped it right into the next pad there. Got a awkward roller, so he's going to have a very difficult, almost no look for 3.
These players are still dealing with the left to right wind here too.
Yeah.
So Dan wisely laying up and not trying to
Half bid there, yeah. You're right. You could leave yourself in a pretty tough spot if you miss there. Noah going for it.
He's got the hyzer putt though, so it
Yeah.
really attacks the wind and will never flip all the way over. Those flat putts can get hard punished like Willie's did, where you leave it out flat and then the wind lifts the left edge of the disc up and then you're just toast out into the woods.
Yeah. Ian there's just a touch short. So real quick here's the angle from the basket to where Willie's positioning is. He has almost no look. Like he has probably a 1 foot window he has to hit right now. And he nearly does it. It was incredible. That was so close.
Wow.
See if Bryce can convert on the birdie here.
It's pretty rare to see a skip off the left side of the basket,
yeah.
too. You see a lot of skips off the right when you leave it a little wide. But for the disc to skip off the left side of the basket, most of the disc has to be over the basket.
Yeah. They can't, because it's falling to the left, so it normally would flip. I've seen that plenty of times when it hits the rim and flips over and just kind of lands around. But to get a real skip like you're talking about.
Skip.
Yeah, it had to have been close.
Unlucky bogey from Willie. He's still got enough wiggle room on the card, but he's just looking for par on out for the rest of the day. Because he's dead for course record at this point in the front nine.
Yeah,
and he's far enough ahead.
With the card, I'm certain he feels pretty comfortable. Still probably wants to attack like a hole like this one, like hole 9, 226 feet. I think he still would like to get some more birdies and still finish strong, but I think you're right. I think he's probably feeling pretty confident and comfortable right now. It's just hard to get birdies right now. The weather has been interesting, and it's just hard to get a groove right now. Headed into round 2 with the weather still kind of changing. You notice it keeps going from sunny to cloudy, and it's just Mother Nature just can't pick a weather. Noah going with the forehand there, which surprised me. I thought he was going to go backhand, but he hits one of those first 2 guardian trees, which are the ones you have to miss. Here's Bryce now. So after having a rough middle there, he's converted the last one with a birdie, and now this one is looking really strong. He's starting to make a good move back.
Beautiful recovery.
Yeah.
That's really tough to do. That's something you see a lot from the amateur players.
Yeah.
Is maybe they have a lot of the same skill set as the players on camera right now, but after was that triple bogey,
yeah.
A lot of times that round is completely over.
Yeah.
And awesome showing from the MPO bracket here, showing why he made himself on lead card.
Yeah, for sure. Ian now looks like this is going to leak out a little left.
Wants a kick.
Didn't quite get one. He's still going to have a look. It's going to be a little obstructed, but he'll have a look for birdie. Willie probably wanting to get that bogey back after getting unlucky. You can see the wind here even is just very strange. Now it's coming up the front there. He's gotten through the first gap. Little scoot.
Perfect.
Yep. 20 feet, 15 feet.
Yeah, nice to leave yourself short on this hole because there's less danger.
Yeah. Than going bigger and hitting long or hitting an early tree and trying to go bigger and getting a bad skip. Oh, trying to push Willie's disc a little closer there. Got a little bump. Here's Dan. He's got his hoodie back on. The weather's starting to drop again.
Yeah, it looks like we got some wind ripping through these trees. Not sure how much it'll affect the disc, but it's a little nippy there on the nose.
Yeah. Ian actually having to go hat backwards for this one. The tree right in front of his face was in his way, and he kisses off the basket there. Very close, good run from him.
I think he's trying to challenge Willie's fashion on this one.
Could be.
Willie's sweatshirt looks so... Oh, no, Willie.
And Willie going a little wide there. That's an uncharacteristic miss. You see him.
But Willie's still got that awesome sweatshirt on.
He does still have that awesome sweatshirt on.
I want a hat that matches that sweatshirt.
Ooh.
Get the dark blue and then Team Discraft on the bucket.
Sure.
And then that wild light blue rim.
Willie, go ask them for us. See if they have one. You just have the whole get up.
I don't know about pants. I don't need a blue outfit.
Yeah, okay. We don't need the whole jumpsuit. Just the hat and the coat.
Yeah.
That's all we're asking, Willie. Just that small little thing. So watching that one go in, making sure it stayed in the basket.
Unfortunate par there. I don't know if there's some wind or some cold action, or if his he's just mentally checked out at this point.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge. I mean, from being in that position that far ahead, it's kind of hard to stay with your foot on the gas. But here's our first 9 scores. Dan, actually, the 2 down is the hottest on this particular card. Some unfortunate spitaways and other things that are happening that keep Ian and Bryce there with the 3 over. But thanks to our Patreon sponsors for helping us keep making disc golf content. We'll see you guys on the back 9.